Hello, fifth graders. This is Mr. James, and we are going to be combining reading and writing into one lesson today because there is no actual new reading to do. Instead, we're going to be looking at two texts that we've read. We'll look at Beyond the Horizon, and we'll look at Explorers of North America, and we'll be doing some comparisons between them. So make sure you have both texts available so that you can review them, or if you need to go back and look at previous videos to rewatch the sections that we're talking about, you might want to do that. Our enduring understanding is still talking about how text can have multiple themes and main ideas, and how do readers determine those themes and main ideas in the text. Our objective today, as you can see, we have both texts there, is to use details and examples to talk about both of them. We want to be able to discuss how they're similar, how they're different as we talk about these two texts. And so you're going to have some questions about what they have in common and how are they different. These are all written in your packet. You'll be wanting to give specific examples of how they are the same and how they are different. Not just one thing, but probably multiple things. And then, hold on one second. I got my phone ringing. I'm going to pause this video. All right. Sorry about that. We are back. So in next questions, it's asking about Beyond the Horizon being divided into parts and how these parts relate to each other. So explaining how the different sections or chapters of the text are related. Then our next question talks about how Explorers of North America is divided into parts and how is it broken up. So in this case, it's broken into chapters, and we want to talk about what those chapters are and why they would put them into chapters and how are they related to each other. Why put them in the same book together? Because they are a little bit different. And then your last question for close reading says, which way of presenting information about exploration do you think was more effective and why? So which of the stories, which of those texts do you think was the most effective way of presenting that information? Meaning it had the most impact on you. You felt like it was the better story. You felt like it gave you more information or you learned more from it. So you'll explain which of those you believe is a better way of presenting it and why. And then you're going to have vocabulary words. Now I'm going to zoom through this because these are vocabulary words that you have already had. So you should have already had my explanation of these vocabulary words. And if you haven't, you can go back in previous videos and find those explanations, because you'll see that we have imploring, rebelled, and intentions, all words that we have done recently. And then you're going to get to your write in response to reading question. On that question, it says that you're going to read pages 16 and 17 of Beyond the Horizon and 10 and 11 of Explorers of North America. So you'll read, open up, maybe set them side by side, read both of those sections of text. Now it's going to ask you about text structure. And it says, how does the text structure of these sections present information on traveling to Asia? Use evidence from the text to support your explanation. So each of these sections will talk about traveling to Asia. Now, one of them is presented in a format that is a fictional story. The other one is presented in a format that is a true or nonfiction account. So you're going to look at each of these structures, and you're going to look at how each of them is presenting that information. One of them is probably using maps. One of them is using some drawings. And we want to be able to compare those. So you should be able to talk about how each of them presents that information using evidence and examples from your text. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you need any help or anything, please let us know. Have a great day.